Hi, I'm introducing a tool that I've developed in order to take a large class and allocate students into group projects based on particular topics. So the tool itself is something that I've used for this, and I've shared it with some colleagues, and I thought I'd put together some instructions in its use and share it a little more widely. So this is what the interface looks like. You have to upload a CSV spreadsheet file with some key information. This, um, your first row has the column labels, and then a particular student with this ID has their first choice. They want to do a topic on SDG4, the second choice SDG1, and then which tutorial they're in and which major in this example. Here we have data for 200 students randomly generated. Just to show you how this will work. So you can imagine doing this by hand, figuring out who goes where, or even if you're handy with Excel, can be a little cumbersome to distribute the students in an efficient way. Make sure the group sizes aren't too big, aren't too small. They have sufficient diversity of majors within them, within the particular tutorial slots. So rather than do that by hand, I simply go to the allocation tool, select the CSV, upload it, and it'll take a minute and analyze it. And once it's done, it gives a recommendation for how they should be allocated. Based on this allocation, 190 students get their first preference, 2 get their second preference, and 8 get neither their first nor their second preference. Depending on the number of topics, the number of students per tutorial, and the minimum group size, some students simply won't be able to get their first 2 preferences. That's just the way it is. Okay, so here we have groups of approximately 6, but really we don't want any less than 4. So the tool is going to try to, given those preference ordering, maximize the number of first and second preferences, maximize the diversity of attribute here majors within each group, and then allocate the groups accordingly. So you can see this visually tells you how good a job the tool is doing on both of those factors. And you can see 8 is the maximum size here. 6 is the approximate size. 8 is practically the maximum size that we're seeing in this data. And you can, the minimum here is 4 as per here. If we change the minimum to 3 here, it's going to update. And you can see that some groups are now 3, and that allows more diversity of choice. Some particular popular topics, for example, SDG4, you can see here has 2 different slots, 2 different groups that are doing SDG4. That it has allocated the students in such a way that that is possible given the minimum group size. If we bump that minimum group size up to 6, then that becomes less possible. Fewer people get their first or second preference, and the groups are larger. And it's less likely that you'll have more than one group doing the same topic within the same tutorial. So you can play around with the group size. Sometimes it's useful to have particularly large groups and ask the students to specialize in terms of function. Maybe somebody's the editor, etc. There's a wide variety of use cases that are available here, but you can have a play with it, see if it's useful for your goals here. And then once you've decided on an ideal allocation of students, you click here, and it will show you this student is in the Wednesday 2 p.m. tutorial in the SDG4 group number 1, and so on and so forth. and you have those data for the students, you can download it as an Excel or a CSV file, and then upload that information directly into your LMS, into Moodle, in our example. And so the prospect of doing all this by hand can be quite daunting, and quite frankly can be a deterrent to engaging in a lot of group projects. This makes it a lot easier, more efficient, and takes away a lot of the headache. So, have a look, play around with the tool, edit the data, build some sample data that you might want to use, or indeed try it for your class, and see how you go. I hope you find it useful. If it works, if it doesn't work, if you have questions, shoot me an email. Thanks.